Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, move. Yo, it's your boy Mambo with the Big Dog Command Room. I was a little thirsty and I wanted to drink, but I can't sit it down because, again, we have a special guest. That acts like I never fed him in his life. And I just did. But we here with the reflections, the week one reflections, and we're just gonna kind of go a little bit more into depth about the game. So like I was saying, with a couple players that we was kind of like unsure about, wondering why they were there. Still, it was just kind of something that I was just thinking about while I was driving. Is that some of these guys are veterans. They like Dan Quinn and AP was probably already telling them we want you to be part of this team. Your spot is kind of solidified, and it's like knowing that you kind of getting that vibe. So like I'm talking about Chris Moore, Eddie Goldman. These are guys like the way they played in the preseason. I don't really see them being on the roster, but they still good players. Hey, come here. Should have put him in the cage too, but please, if you can sit down. Please sit down. But yeah, Chris Moore and Eddie Goldman was those guys. But I'm thinking because they're in the preseason, it's just like if I know I got a guaranteed sit down. Sit down. Please sit down. 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 Anyway, if I know I'm gonna get a spot on this team, am I going to really like go out here and do diving tackles and diving catches and block my whole face off, like what I'm saying, to make this roster, or I may not be locked in as I am. Like if I was in a regular game, you know what I'm saying? And some people are like that. Some people are gamers, like actual games, and not like, like practice. I know I was kind of like that whenever I got a chance, which was very rare. Not that I was trash, it was just like I couldn't catch. That's a whole nother story. But when I got in the game and got the opportunity, got all the jitters out, I made some plays, and some people were like that, like what I'm saying. So that's one thought, but yeah, and the other one is just like the fact that we were able to do so well against this defense. It just kind of bodes well about the future of this offense, like what I'm saying. There's so many elements that we haven't really unlocked, and we haven't even got all our guys back. Sam Cosby's not back. The offensive line hasn't got a chance to gel. I think I heard a stat. Get out of there. I think I heard a stat. It was like, it wasn't really a stat, but it's like just a fact. That kind of like 4/5 of that starting line only had 4 snaps together, which was the Bengals game, and not really no pass protecting sets really, like only one. So it's gonna be interesting, like to see how that gels, and those guys only getting better, like what I'm saying, like Dan Quinn talking about how Josh Connolly it was such a jump from him starting the preseason, like to like getting to the Patriots game, man, Patriots joint practice, and like the learning curve just shot up, like what I'm saying. So him going against this good test with Brian Burns and Abdul Carter and Kayvon Thibodeau, like they going against Michael Parsons and these guys. Who else is gonna be as good as them in the rest of the season? Like it's gonna be a cakewalk once he gets down, like gets through all that, and he getting those tests like in the very beginning. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna be good, man. Larry Tunsil's doing good, and it's like even though he's so good, like he can still improve too. You know what I'm saying? And he got Brandon Coleman, learning right next to him, and Tyler Bialic, hearing another stat that he's like never lost to Dexter Lawrence, like what I'm saying. So loving that stat, and he just played well, man. The offensive line specifically, and then you get to Jaden playing well. Like Jaden missed a few things, like overshot. I think sometimes he gets a little, because he's human too, even though it doesn't seem like he's human, but he's human too, and sometimes he gets a little kind of off center or a little hype. I remember his first ever play, like he overthrew B-Rob, like he threw the ball like 100 miles an hour over B-Rob head. And like, what I'm saying, it's just like, relax, bro. You didn't have to throw it that hard, so there's some plays where he had to he was kind of doing that. Guys just need to catch the ball, even if it's behind them, like Ertz and I think Debo and a couple other people drop passes, like, but once we get those things cleaned up, man, it's gonna be cool. And him just outrunning people. It's just funny. Like everybody's been talking about how he was laughing at Brian Burns, and it's like, bro, like this dude is smiling. Like it's crazy, bro. Like he's too cold with it. You got one of the coolest quarterbacks in the league, man. Like just straight up swag. It's like without even trying. And it's only gonna get better, man. What I do? I want to do wide receivers and running backs. I say wide receiver. Terry's still getting his legs under him, and from what I was hearing, I need to check to see, but he was getting double teamed a lot. Terry's still gonna be there. Terry's still gonna be reliable, and they just need to figure out a way to feed him more. I'm concerned that it's a twofold thing. I'm concerned that Terry might get buried in this offense because it's just gonna be so dynamic, and they're gonna kind of emphasize and try to run the offense through Bill and Debo, but also it's kind of a side effect. Well, let me just flow through. It's kind of a side effect of him not being there the whole offseason, like, what I'm saying, because he was holding out for his contract. But then also, because he wasn't in training camp and in the preseason and stuff like that, preseason games, his body hasn't gone through that wear and tear of the pre-training camp, and which is a good thing. It's a blessing. So it's like, he didn't have to get to that rigorous, work that they had to go through, so his body's fresher. But then as another result, him not being there, like Jaden has to kind of rebuild that chemistry and get used to seeing him on the field again and trusting him again. So it's going to happen over time. Like hopefully it happens sooner than later, like in this Green Bay game. But we'll see. I want to speak a little bit more about that in a second. Actually, no, it's gonna be the next video. But tight ends. Let's do tight ends. Zachary, you gotta catch that, man. But Zach is dependable, bro. From what I've seen, heard, like he kind of forced some holding calls that help continue drives, which we need. And then, of course, he gets that touchdown. Jaden had to put it on him, pause. And that's his reliable guy. You know what I'm saying? It's Old Faithful and stuff. So we're gonna have to figure out a way to kind of incorporate him more and figure out a way to kind of utilize our tight ends more. But for the most part, he did well. John Bates did, his thing as usual, just stonewalling guys. And I do want to say, like, our run blocking this game was amazing. Like, what I'm saying, that end around with Debo, like Tunsil got out, Biotis got out. He didn't hit nobody, but he got out there. He hit one person. He was like, and then, but yeah. Bill blocked well, like, Luke McCaffrey blocked well. He had a good return too on the kick return, like, I was happy about that. Yeah, man, it's good blocking. We gotta figure out a way to incorporate these tight ends more, man. I think Kosa Yankov, I think he had a tackle. Shout out to him. I'm just thinking, I just kind of saw his number. But, yeah, like, cause, then Senate being the second round pick, we had to figure out a way to get this dude going, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, but it's gonna take a minute, but it's gonna happen. Austin Eckler, man, did a great job, kind of starting off. Like I said, he takes a little minute to kind of, like, he's not as explosive as a Bill, because Bill just plants and goes. Like, Austin kind of like sets up the blocks and then he kind of goes. He kind of paces. His pace is different. Doesn't mean it's bad, like, what I'm saying, but it's not like, he's not going to take it to the crib, like, unless it's like something crazy, like it's the block so well and then he's just out of there. But he still did his thing. Remember the play, like, he had like a false start. He probably was about to get the ball that play, and he was so hyped, and then he ended up getting the call. Took us back 5 yards, and then the very next play gets the ball, gets passed, and does this crazy little spin move, and gets the first down, and dude is nice, man. He's still nice. He ain't lost a step for real, like, what I'm saying. But it was nice to see us go back to guys, like, when they messed up, and yeah, it was cool. Trying to think. Oh yeah, I wonder if that play before he did the false start. I wonder if that play was gonna be the same play, or they just was like, you know what, because you messed up, we're gonna make this call and let's get the ball right back to you. And so, but it's like, again, I just love the resiliency of the guys, and like how they did. And then of course Bill, man, like, like I said, when I first saw him, like that first carry that he had, I'm just like, yo, that's Bill. I didn't know who it was, but I was like, that Bill? That's Bill. Bill, like, turn. And he had some good runs outside of that 4-yard run in the touchdown run. He had some good runs, man. I mean, enough to end up getting 82 yards. Like, he averaged 8.2 yards on 10 carries. Like, that's crazy compared to how the Giants was. Like, so dude is nice, man. We found this one. We found this one, and he's as advertised, and if not better, he's gonna get it, and he's gonna get better. So, just happy about that, and just kind of keep doing our thing with him, and that's the thing. Some gamesmanship, like Lou, shout out to Lou T. Talking about Bill Mania, he's like, the secret's out or whatever. It's just like, yeah, man, the league is gonna start noticing or knowing who Bill is, man. It's a whole story just wrapped into it, because it's like a hidden gem. Like, how is the 7th-round pick being able to be this good? Like, on some Jahmyr Gibbs type stuff, you know what I'm saying? But 7th-round pick, you know, wasn't able to play his last year, played on the practice squad. It's a story, man. And then he got a name like Bill. Like, it's gonna be this whole thing. Like, people are calling him Bill, but his name is Jacory Crossley Merritt. He already got a complicated name, but his name is Bill. Like, it's like so much. Hey, what are you doing? So, yeah, man, but like, dang, I forgot. Yeah, Louis T was talking about that, and then it's just like the whole thing about it. It's just like, yeah, man, people know about him now, and it's not something like, oh, it's a gamesmanship that they were doing before, like having him as the fourth running back, and you know, on the depth chart, and like him not practicing and stuff. They was keeping him in bubble wrap because they know how important he is, man. It was keeping non-contact jersey because it's like, I remember when I was in high school, we had this dude named Darius, man, a good friend of mine at the time. You know, one of the most talented people I know, like anything, but definitely in football. We was in practice. We were just in practice, man. And my boy Quail, one of the best linebackers in Johnson County, along with Cameron Knight and Kyle Anderson. Shout out to the guys. We had a squad. But man, I don't know what in the world we was doing. I think he caught us a screen or something like that. And Darius got the ball, and Quail knocked this boy out, like laid him out. I mean, he was good. He got up. But I'm talking about as soon as that happened, like, cause for whatever reason, I don't know what it was, but like our coach loved Darius. Like, it was like he was the greatest weapon ever, and you could not touch him. And so like when he did it, bro, it was done for. Like, you know what I'm saying? We ended up having a run because he hit him. Like I done got hit, all this stuff. Like, nobody ever had this like stop what we were doing and run because of one player getting hit, and that's what happened with that one. I still remember the hit to the day. Like Quail knocked him out, like not literally, but he tore him up, like he hit him, like, you know. But it's kind of like that, like almost if you hit him and you injure him, like, you know what I'm saying, we gonna have problems. So they kept him in a non-contact jersey, put him fourth on the depth chart, all kind of stuff, like to make sure that he was good and ready to go, you know, week 1. So, yeah, man, it was nice, man. But anyways, let's get to the defense. Defense is good, bro. I mean, Tyrone Tracy is not somebody to sleep on. Now maybe, and neither is Devin Singletary. I didn't even know he played for real, like, honestly, like. But, you know, he was a nice backhand at one point or another. And, like, for us to shut them down completely, like, you know what I'm saying, how you have, like, 3 red zone trips and you only have 6 points. Like, you know, that's crazy. It's nuts. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's really amazing. Like, and then, like, to have, like, what was it, like, 8 attempts or like 7 attempts in the red zone and still not score. They just end up getting kicking a field goal. It's great, man. Like hearing, shout out to Lake Lewis and Rio, just hearing us, like the moves that these guys made, like, you know, it was for a reason, and then, like, you know, it's paying off dividends, like, you know what I'm saying, Javon Kinlaw, Deron Payne with the 2 batted passes and a sack, you know what I'm saying, Dedrick Wise, like, you know, there was one play, like a guy broke a tackle and it was like in open field, and I'm like, you know, some guy comes down and tackles him. I'm like, who is that? And I'm like, then it was, he do get up, it was Dedrick Wise. And I think another player was like, who is that? And it was Deron Payne. Like, I mean, the guys was flying. The guys was flying, man. Will Harris, like, you know, balling out. You know, he had another play, like, in the end zone where, like, Russ kind of just threw that ball up. Like, he didn't know what to do with it. Like, you know, he threw it up, like he was like, no. not about to throw this pick, like, you know what I'm saying? And like, so we might see a couple picks from Bill Harris because he's gonna be in position. You gonna see some picks from Quan too. He should have got a pick today. And like I was saying, like I did say that, I forgot about that. I was like, I feel like our rush defense is gonna be good, and it's gonna be so good that it's gonna kind of shut down. Well, one, I think we're gonna be ahead. That's what I was saying. We're gonna be ahead, so it's not gonna really allow them to run like that. Because if they were ahead of us, then they're gonna be running, trying to run the clock out. And then because of that, they're gonna have to throw. And then because they're gonna have to throw so much, then it's gonna like leave room for us to get our opportunities to get the ball, turn the ball over, which we almost did. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you know, it'll happen. It'll definitely happen. But you know, also like us, like I was saying, like us shutting the run down is gonna cause them to throw more too. So that was what result that we seen. Like, you know, we probably might have should have got more for real. You know, more opportunities at it, but you know, it is what it is. But secondary, it's just the secondary is so much better, man. And the fact that we can just rotate corners out and let them get breaths, it's just like it's such a relief, like, you know, such a different thing. Because in past eras, like if you was a starting corner, you was gonna be out there the whole game. Like it was no rotating, there was no like, you know, oh, like let me get this breather real quick. No, you was out there, like, you know. So to be able to sit there and get some, like, get a breather for a second and come back out. Like I still think back to when this might have been the peak of Benjamin St-Juste's, like, you know, athleticism and balling out in this. I just made up a word, but I go back to the Vikings game where he single-handedly shut down, like, you know, a drive, like he caused a 3-and-out himself. I think the first play he had a sack, and I think the first play he had a sack. The second play he had like a pass defense or whatever, or like he had like, I think he had a pick, and then they had a penalty and stuff like that, and they called it back. And then the third play is like when they threw the deep ball to Justin Jefferson. So it's like at that point it's like I done did all this running, and you, which when we look back on, bro, these athletes are crazy, bro. For him to do all that and still kind of almost be in position to guard Justin Jefferson, like after all that, like, nah. Like, there's not many people in the world, like normal people in the world, that's not athletes that will be able to do that. But yeah, like, but to be just like, say you do all that and it's still in the game, you haven't scored yet. Like, for you to just be like, you know what, I need a breather. Let me step out, and then bring somebody in, and they're just as good, or like just a little bit below, like, you know, just a tier below. You're good. Like, you know, it's a good thing to see. So, yeah, man, I'm just happy about that. I don't know. I'm just excited, man. I'm so glad that we don't have to wait a whole dang on week to see the game. That was another thing too. I think all of us were just so excited. I don't think I've ever been so excited for a season. Like, it felt like forever. It felt like this past, like the week before, like after the last preseason game and the week before the game, it just felt like forever. Like college football wasn't enough. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's no basketball, there's baseball on. It's just forever. And even before the game, like I was there at like 7:30, like, you know what I'm saying? And that felt like forever. Like those 4.5 hours felt like forever. Even before like the 10 minutes, I'm just like, oh my God, please just kick the ball off. Like, oh my gosh, I couldn't wait. And I know I wasn't the only one, like, you know what I'm saying? It was like so many fans. It was kind of sparse, you know, in where I was at, like, you know, I mean, it was kind of filled, but it wasn't like packed, like, you know what I'm saying, in the suites I was in, you know, but, you know, for the most part, the fans was pumped. It was hype to be there. and just it's a lot of new energy and space, like, in there. So it's dope to see. So that's pretty much it, man. If I can think of anything else, I will mention it. But for the most part, that was pretty much my reflections. I try to do a better job of reflecting deeper. I just been kind of been on the move. I've been on grind mode. I got stuff to do, and as you can see, I got a whole child I'm watching, like, basically, like, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, that's that win. We got time to think about it, reflect, laugh, cry about it, you know what I'm saying? Be excited about it, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, you know what we do. It's a reflection, like, you know what I'm saying? Win, lose, or draw. I'm gonna get the trash can and I'll be back. Oh. So, as we usually do, like we always do with it, move! Like we always do with this time, I go for mine. Say no. But yeah, man, you know what we do, man. Win, lose, or draw. We think about it, reflect, laugh, cry, all that about it. And then we ball it up. And then we throw it in the trash. And move on to the next one. Move on 2 days from now, or a day and a half from now, or whatever. We're gonna be in Lambeau Field playing in the pre-frozen tundra, because it's not cold yet. And like going against Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers and Michael Parsons. It's gonna be exciting. I'm gonna try to make a video tomorrow with my pregame thoughts about it. But in the meantime, in between time, this is it. You know what I'm saying? I will catch you on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, and thank y'all for all y'all support. Much love. Till next time, peace, love, and hair grease.